Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs. It's Saturday Hockey Talk. I'm just getting ready. I'm running a little late. See you in a minute. Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs. We get your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge. So, let's see, anybody here? Nobody here. Well, someone just left. Anyway, it's Saturday night. Montreal Canadiens obviously not playing in the playoffs, but yeah, we'll talk hockey. The draft lottery is coming up on Tuesday. We can talk about that and anything you guys want to talk about. It's open season tonight, so if you're in the room, say hi and let's get chatting. I have like no game day news. I was out all day, and doesn't seem like there's much happening as far as the Montreal Canadiens are concerned today. So I know there's a birthday today, and I can't remember who. Also, the Rocket are playing tonight. I think Mattias Norlinder making his first start for the Rocket in the playoffs tonight. So that should be interesting. And yeah, let's talk. Let's see what you guys want to talk about and what you guys got to say and ask your questions. And I'm here to answer them. Simple as that. It's a very lax Saturday night, Saturday hockey talk tonight. It's the off season. I'm taking a bit of a break. Well, I got my booster shot 2 days ago, and then had a very mild reaction, but I had a bit of a reaction all day yesterday. Nothing to talk about. There was a family birthday, and then that's why I haven't really done any videos for 2 days. I am working on 3 videos. Hey, Munib, hey, it's been a while. How's it going, man? Good to see you. I'm working on 3 videos. I've got 3 started scripts. So one of them is about the players who I think shouldn't be back next season. One is about finding a comparable for Cole Caulfield in the Habs' former greats of the past. And then I know I was talking about doing a song, and then I just didn't do it. I was like kind of stuck. And yesterday, out of nowhere, I got 2 verses done. So I'm working on those things. So I hope tomorrow I will have one of those videos out. Maybe the one and the song. We'll see what happens. Hey, Luca. How long will I be live? Well, I hope I'm alive all night. I don't know. Last week I did an hour, but I was cut short a little bit. An hour to 2, depending on how things go tonight. I don't know. Fish guy, I don't know the answer to that. I can tell you in a minute. It's very easy. Just go to Cap Friendly. I look up Chicago, and it'll tell me pretty quick. Chicago does not have a first-round pick for this draft. Am I open to having people on? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Wait, Matt's out there too. Hey, Matt. Fish guy, it might be, but it's showing on Cap Friendly that it is. Oh well, there's an asterisk up there. Let's see. It doesn't say that it's first round protected. Yeah, it doesn't say that it is. It definitely doesn't say it's a top 10 protected pick. So I guess they don't have a pick. Adam, never. Don't worry. And listen, I'm prepared for. And listen, the series isn't over. So if you want to come in and bug me about it, it's not over yet. So, and I've already admitted that I called the Tampa in 4 just to piss off the Leafs fans that come in here to bug me. So don't, you can't call me out on that. And the series isn't over yet. So when it's over, if you guys come out on top, I'm leaving YouTube and Twitter for about a year. God, whatever. We're living in the upside down. So, of course, Toronto will win the first round series. Hey, Dave, how's it going? I'm doing okay. Yeah, I mean, like with the Leafs thing, not looking forward to having the Leafs win the series, because then I'm sure all the Leafs fans are going to come down on me and go, your pick was bad. Whatever. Hey, Mr. Bocephus. How's it going? Only halfway there. And you know what happens when they get to 3-1, right? We know this from last year. So, that's my hope now. Luca, yeah, no problem. I just got to go onto my email and I'll send you off an invite. Ooh, yeah, I'm sure you can't forget that one. Let me go log in there to my email and send off that invite for Luca. Just give me a sec. Lag time. What this? I don't know what I'm about to say. Forget it. I didn't say nothing. Compose. Oh, maybe if I get the invite information, it really helps to have that. You need me to. I hope. Yeah, but I hate one more than the other. So, Matt, I heard Kemper's might start on Monday. He's fine. There's just a little swelling around the eye. Nothing serious, is what I read on Twitter from the team. He might start on Monday even. So it's not bad. He got lucky, from what it looks like. Let me get to here. I hope this time it kept your name. All right. Let me send this. All right, Luca, invitation is sent. Oh, I better log out of my web. If I don't log out of this, it sends me a message. You didn't log out. It could have been worse, that's for sure. Hey, Tario. Moonlight. It's actually embarrassing how some professional team scouts are saying that they don't even have Wright in their top 5. I honestly haven't really seen a list where he's not number 1. So it's interesting. Kent Hughes, I think yesterday, Kent Hughes said that they were looking to get bigger at the draft, bigger up front. So it makes you think of Slavkovsky, but it depends what pick they get. Matt, outdoor, we won't find out till Tuesday. Tuesday is the draft lottery, and Tuesday is when we're going to find out. Matt, what you up to? You're not coming on? Come on in. Join us. Oh, that was it. What was I wanted to talk about something, and I didn't make any notes because I didn't. I came home a few hours ago. Could have done that, but I started watching a new series, Bosch, the new series that. I got into that. So, oh, awesome, Matt. Matt's coming on. That's cool. So we're gonna have Matt and Luke on. Oh, did Sydney, Nova Scotia win? Awesome. Things are good, BL. How about you? Is that where you live, Sydney? Moonlight, I don't think he meant the later picks, though. I think he meant in the earlier rounds, not the later rounds. I agree with you, though. Yeah, best player available. But maybe he's signaling that if they don't get Shane Wright, they're going to go with Slavkovsky and not Logan Guhle. Maybe that's what that means. I don't know. I didn't see the interview. I read this from one of the reporters on Twitter. And anyways, these guys, they put out these stories a lot, sometimes in a clickbaity way, to get people. So I don't know. But that's what I read. That's true. Sean Farrell and I can't. Jordan Harris, that's his first name. Were named to the USA World team. That's for the World Championships in the summer, right? Yeah, Bosch. I watched Bosch, I think 3 times. And now the new series is on, and yeah, I like it so far. I'm also watching something fantastic. If you like The Godfather, the movie The Godfather, a series called The Offer. I love that. I started watching that a couple days ago. Wow, love that. Let's talk TV on Saturday Hockey Talk. We can talk TV. I don't mind. We can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I got no agenda tonight. No, I answered everything. So we got 16 people in tonight. I guess I don't know what the games are on tonight, but I think last Saturday, I don't even know if we got 16 people at all in here. It was a very low view live stream last week. Hey Ariel, if we don't get the number 1 pick, any chance we can trade up to get the number 1 pick? I really doubt that, though. I mean, would you trade it away? I was just reading something about instead of doing, like, say they don't get that, but they get their 3rd pick. I don't know what pick Jersey's gonna have, but there's some talk about maybe they'll trade to get Jersey's pick as well. We might have 2 high picks. Shesterkin pulled. Yeah, I think it was a bad pick for me. I had the Pens in my first pick, my first one. In the one I did for the video, I didn't take the Pens. That was a bad move. Anyways, look, it's happening Tuesday. Let's think positively. Why not? Let's get the number 1 pick. I'm not worried about the other ones. There's good picks there, but I want the number 1 pick. And then if not, like I said, if they could trade for, like a pick like from Jersey or some higher, that'd be great, and get 2 picks there. I'd love to see that. Okay, but BL, if the team that would win it, but they don't want Wright, they could pick whoever they want, though. So why? Oh, I see what you mean. Trade it away, get something for it, and then go after the guy they want a little later. Yeah, okay, I get that. I wasn't thinking right. I was just seeing something about Guhle there, about how well he's doing. Oh, Luca, what do you think? You think Guhle's in the lineup next year? Kent Hughes also said stuff about not rushing these guys. So as much as we might want to see him here, I think, he did say if they trade Petry, they're going to get another more experienced defenseman. I don't think a star, and bring him in. So yeah, they're not going to rush these guys. But man, I just feel Guhle's going to be here next season. If he doesn't start at the beginning, I think he'll be here at some point next year. I think I did a prospect video before the draft last year on Guhle. The year before, excuse me. I think we start Guhle and Laval, and if his play impresses, then bring him to the NHL. Well, it depends on what he does in the preseason. But yeah, I mean that's what I think would happen. Yeah. Chalk go 8. What's 25% mean? Oh, the chances of getting the first pick. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Matt, I kind of agree with you. Hey, Pete, how's it going? All is good. Hope's good with you too, man. Matt's going to be on in a minute. His computer takes like 20 minutes to boot up, I think. Matt, it depends. Like if they're saying, well, we're not rushing guys, maybe they want to see them, certain amount of games in Laval before. I don't know. We'll see. But I think I was saying it after they drafted him. I thought that Guhle was going to be on the fast track and get here probably faster than most people thought, and it looks like he is definitely on that fast track. The defense of the future here is going to be freaking good. I don't think many people can argue too much about that, right? Oh, we're up to 19 people. Give a thumbs up if you're enjoying watching me say I'm a lot, because I've been doing that lately, saying I'm a lot. He's just about to put himself in here with the green screen behind him. Ladies and gentlemen, say hi to Matt.
What's happening?
Oh, I won't hear you unless I put headphones on, so I should put my headphones on.
What's going on, everybody? Peter, how we doing? It's really good to see you, my man. And the Rangers chopped the lead in half. It's 4-2.
4-2 Rangers. 4-2.
But no, honestly, just the way he played in the preseason, man. I mean, he just looked developed. He just looked like he was maybe needed one more year, in juniors or in development, just to refine a few things. And I think he's going to be there, Caden Goalie. I really do. I think he's going to be a stud.
I'm sure. I think in the preseason and early on, I was saying I think he's going to be here next year.
Mm-hmm.
And looks like he's. Imagine so many people didn't like that pick. It's proven to be worth the pick.
I mean, the kid. I mean, first, and when I say Weber 2.0, I just don't mean the way he plays. I mean, he's literally like the same size. He's what, 6'5", 220 or something like that. Like, he's a big friggin' dude.
He's a big guy, and he plays a very similar physical game.
And he's
he doesn't have the offensive side.
Yeah, but I mean, he can rip the puck.
He doesn't have the offense, I think, but I think his offense is going to be okay. I don't think he has Weber's shot or offense, but I think he's got Weber's leadership and physical play and all that. I think he's got that.
Yeah. No, I think his honestly, I think his defensive awareness, I think is just about there, if not there. You know what I mean? I think his hockey IQ is there too.
Happy Nation says, so you want Guhle to play third line time? Shut up. I don't expect Guhle to come in and be number 1 D from his first game. So Nick Suzuki started on the 4th line wing. I don't know. I think that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, Guhle won't play, first line minutes or anything like that. But no, I still think there's a really good shot he makes the team out of camp.
Yeah, I think. Listen, in his first year playing, starting out on the 3rd line, nothing wrong with that at all. Peter, yeah, I remember. I listened. But I'm saying that, like, the viewers, there weren't a lot of people on Guhle after the draft. Moonlight says Guhle's 6'2", 201. That's fine. He plays a big game though, like bigger. He hits big.
He's 6'3", 201, actually. I just looked it
Okay,
up.
well, so
But
6'3" is only an inch off of Weber. And that 201, I mean, he's only what, 20? He's gonna fill. He's gonna.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna
He's gonna
he's
fill
gonna
out a
hit the
little bit.
weight
Yeah,
room.
yeah, he's
He's
gonna
gonna
fill
put
out.
on muscle.
He will.
Yeah, I mean,
He's young.
You know, when he get, you know, when he's, you know, especially over this summer too. Like I guarantee you, he's probably gonna add, you know, somewhere around 5 pounds of muscle because he'll hit the weight room hard.
Yeah, for sure. Habination, who will he play with? Well, I can list off a list of guys that could be there.
I think they should play him with Barron. They have chemistry together.
I was thinking Barron. Well, which they
played together in what was it, London or something?
And listen, Barron's probably still going to be a third pairing guy when he gets next season.
Put him with Barron. They got chemistry. They played together. Why the hell not? Yeah.
I wouldn't.
They know each other's game. They know how to play off each other. Why not?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Some rumors are saying that if Habs or Columbus don't win the lottery, Habs could trade their first pick to pick the 2 first-round pick from Columbus. They have their own and Blackhawks. Yeah, I mean, those are rumors. I don't know. I think if you got a top 3 pick, I don't think you're trading down. Even for 2.
No,
I don't think so.
Especially with the top 3 guys. Either Wright, Guhle, or Slafkovsky. We're guaranteed one of those 3. Yeah, I don't know how you trade out of that spot. I really don't.
I don't think you trade out of that spot.
You can't. And we got a 4-3 hockey game. Go Rangers.
Go Rangers, go.
Jimmy Panarin making it a game here.
Moonlight, elite prospect. I mean, yeah, that could be from like 2 years ago when he was drafted. So yeah, he's grown. He's grown. And at his age, I mean, he's almost done. But you know, you can grow till you're like 21, 22. You can still.
Well, you know what's scary too? When he was drafted, he was 186 pounds. He's now 201 pounds.
I'm telling you, he's going to fill out more.
He's gonna be, I hate to be a guy who tries to drive the net on him. He's just going to be like, nope.
Yeah,
it's going to be like running into a friggin' brick wall.
It's going to be a brutal defense for that.
Oh my God! No, I love that kid. He's gonna be good. I feel it.
Habination, I think you're wrong. Goalie doesn't move the puck, so he plays in Laval. I'm not saying he doesn't play in Laval. I don't think you're 100% right to say Goalie doesn't move the puck. Is he a puck mover, a classic one? No. But I think he can play both kinds of games. I think he can move the puck. There's offense to his game. I don't think it's like, huge, but I think you're wrong on that. But he might play in Laval to start. I don't think anything wrong with that either.
No. But I mean, even if he starts in Laval, if he does well, I can see him definitely cracking the lineup. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it'd be a lengthy stay.
No, I don't think so either. The drop off from Wright to Cooley is a bit, and then even more after that. A little, but I don't think it's that huge that you're going to say, well, we'll trade down. Like, I think the top 3 are pretty good. I don't think anybody in the top 3 is going to want to trade down.
No,
or even to trade away their. I don't see that. Even top 5, I'm not sure I see that. Godfather, make me an offer you can't refuse. It's funny because I'm watching The Offer, a great TV show. If you love The Godfather, you got to watch that. It's about how The Godfather was made. It's really good. Gotta be Shane Wright. The kid scored 39 goals in the OHL as a 15-year-old. He's a real deal. My Habs brethren. You're talking about first pick? Yeah, I don't see anybody getting first and not taking Wright. I really don't. I mean, like someone said earlier, if you're getting first round pick and you're not taking Shane Wright, then trade down to and get something and then you'll get your guy also.
Mm-hmm.
So
oh yeah.
Where am I? Pete, he is still a young man becoming a man. I promise you he'll be great. Keep bringing him along nice and slow, let him mature and gain his confidence. Yeah, well, I mean, Hughes did say they're not going to rush any of these guys. So Goalie might make it right away, or I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, even if we don't see him next, that wouldn't shock me either. That might shock me, actually. I shouldn't say that.
It might it would. Let me put it this way: if he's not Laval next
Well, he's in
year, if he
Laval.
doesn't make the team, but if he's not Laval,
Oh, you'd be in Laval.
that would shock the hell out of me.
I think he have to kind of make the jump.
I think he does.
He's
actually.
19, isn't he? He's got to make the jump. He's got to make the jump. If it wasn't in the Montreal form, they might do it, but not as a host. That's another reason. They're not trading away their top pick when they're picking when it's here in Montreal. No way. Habination. Norlinder moves the puck and is a potential number one. Guhle is a top 4 in Laval. I totally disagree with you. I think you got him reversed, in my opinion. I think Norlinder still has a lot more to prove than Guhle does. And I think Guhle is a potential. I think they're both top 4. I think Norlinder's got a little catching up to do to Guhle. That's my opinion. Mm-hmm. To say one is a number 1, one's a number 4, I don't know that you can say that at this point in their career because they haven't hit here yet. And until they do, you can't, be that sure about it. Mm-hmm. Cooley's overrated. He's just good for American standards. I don't know. I hear a little bit of both. I've heard that. And then you got Luca, who should be here joining us any minute now. Luca will tell you that Cooley's awesome. So and I kind of like Luca's opinion. So I don't personally have one yet. I haven't really studied him yet. Habination. It's a huge difference, and I would prefer a French-speaking guy that's about twice. Now, Habination's just stirring up he's just stirring the pot now. That's all you're doing. You're channeling some Jeff and stirring the pot. When you put in that, I prefer a French-speaking guy. I know you're not serious. So, sorry. Ryan, any Finnish centers we can reach on again? Nope. I don't think this management team is going to be reaching on anybody.
No, I don't think so.
Norlinder isn't close to a top pair D. Not yet. Not yet. Will he end up there? Maybe, but he's not yet. He's got some work to do. They're not trading. I don't see them trading down.
No, I don't think they will.
All right, Habination. We'll see after we'll see what happens down the line. Baron Harris Guhle will be at the big club next year. Not sure where we are at with the photographer Mayu. My guess he's in Laval. My guess actually is Mayu is in London next season. Back with the London Knights.
Yeah, I think he'll have to play another year at junior.
He missed the most of the season because of injury. His development was already a little bit put back. And I know Mayu does not make it to the professional ranks next year, my opinion. Is Norlinder doing good? Don't know. He's playing his first game tonight with Laval in the playoffs. So you got to wait for that.
I picked BL. I picked Colorado, and let me look. I think Colorado and the Rangers, but I'm not 1,000% sure. Let me look.
Moonlight thinks Slavkovsky's overrated. He had a good Olympics and gained so much hype, but his Liga play has been average at best. He had one good month, and that's it. Top 10 pick, in my opinion. Okay. That's I can't argue that.
Yeah,
I haven't really done
Colorado over the Rangers.
I haven't really done a deep dive on these guys yet. So, BL, yes, my Kings did not. None of my picks look good. I'm gonna. My brackets are screwed like right off the first round. Although again, that series is not over, but I mean, I fear that it might be over there. But we'll see.
Who the hell? Happy Nation picked the Bruins to win. I'm looking at the league right now. Happy Nation picked the Bruins to win the cup.
Happy
I
so and he wants us to listen to him. If the Habs get number 3, will they draft Nemec? See, Nemec's a defenseman, right? So I kind of don't think so. I don't think they have the need to go after a defenseman at number 3. Unless they feel Nemec's the best player available, then yeah, they'll draft him because that's what you should do. Tario, I would agree. If Nemec's not like better than these, I don't see there's a need to draft a defenseman here. Unless, like I said, where you're picking, if he is the best player available, you do that because that's what you do. What excites me is the depth of this defense pool we have brewing. Me too. I think the defense is going to be like kick-ass in 3 years and beyond.
Oh, it's going to be ridiculous. I mean, Guhle, not to like. I honestly think Harris may end up being a top 4 D man when all is said and done. I really do. I think he has that potential, and I think he has a really good potential as a 2-way D man because I think he's got skills on both ends.
Habination, got a question for you. Who did the coach keep out of the lineup? Are you talking about Barron? Because if you're talking about Barron, Barron was injured, so that's why he didn't play. Injury. So I don't know who he kept out. Who do I have? No, I had LA and Florida for it. So you can laugh at me. Yeah, that's fine. Ryan, I don't think we let Phil Deneau walk. Phil Deneau walked.
He wanted out though, right? Like
Phil Deneau walked because he wanted to walk. And I think that's what happened.
Yeah, I mean, didn't he say something like that, or his wife? He didn't want to stay in Montreal.
He didn't really. It depends who you talk to, but I mean, I think he walked because he wanted to. You picked the Leafs to beat Tampa. Oh, okay. Did you? Yeah, really. But you know what though? It's not done yet. So, I mean, you want to take credit for something that's not over. That's fine. I like to wait till the series are over until you decide that it's over. His contract ends in 3 years. Whose contract ends in 3 years? Habination, I'm not mad either. Okay, that's for you, Matt. Tario.
Yeah, I'm reading it. Yeah, no, I like I said, I think he. I think he'd be good because I really think he'd be a really good like prototypical 2-way defender. Because I think he definitely has some development to do in his own end, but I think offensively, I think he's gifted. I think he's got a lot of skill in the offensive end. I love his we were saying because he scored a goal like that, or maybe it was Barron. No, it was Barron. But Harris kind of does the same thing with that little kind of tightrope walk and then rip it. You know what I mean?
Barron. I haven't seen Harris do that.
But Harris can do that. But yeah, I like them, but I like their speed though. They both skate really well.
It's gonna be a fast team. Ryan,
even Guhle. I mean, Guhle's a bigger guy, but he skates very well. He's very good on his edges.
Ryan is suggesting that they should have offered Deneau a couple extra million to stay. So we're looking at $8.5 million for Phil Deneau. I see. No, I agree. Seriously, Ryan, he got what 6.5 over there.
Mm-hmm.
They offered him 5.5. So either you're saying 7.5 or 8.5. 7.5 for 6 years for Phil Deneau? I don't think so. I like the guy and all that, but I mean, still 7.5. Nope. Oh, I didn't make fun of your Bruins. Did I make fun of your Bruins pick?
Oh no,
I didn't. It was mostly Matt. I just sort of agreed. Renegade Man. It looks like that, but they still also have 4 games to play, so maybe potentially. So we'll see how that works. Luca, I sent you the link, by the way. Mayu can do what Matt is talking about. He deeks through teams going coast to coast. Well, you're talking about Mayu?
Oh no, I was talking about Harris and Barron.
Right.
I think the both of them are going to be great two-way defenders. Yep. I really do. And then you obviously would Nylander is the puck mover, and then Guhle is the stay-at-home guy. I think that's a pretty solid top 4 of the future.
Going to be a good top 6.
Actually, yeah, because then Romanov's going to be in there too. Who I can't believe I friggin' forgot.
There's going to be a lot of guys. Yeah. They can't all be in there. It's going to work out however, but there's a lot of great options to choose from, it looks like. Ryan, he would not have been our top scorer because if you think Phil Deneau would have had the same production that he did in LA this year here in Montreal, I think you're way wrong. Hey, Guru, how's it going, man? Dakota Joe, well, he got 6.5 from LA, and we offered him, I think, 5.5. I think the Bruins are down 2-1.
They are, yep.
2 games. Oh, look, no problem, no rush. Just don't worry about it. Whenever you're here, just wanted to make sure you got the link. Tario, yeah, it wasn't about money with Deneau. He was going.
Yeah, I think it's what I think it was his wife. Kind of made like an Instagram post or something about
they didn't want to have another kid here.
We're tied in Pittsburgh 4-4.
His wife said they're not having a kid here in Montreal.
Yeah,
another kid in second kid in Montreal.
Like Instagram or something like that.
Yeah, so he wasn't staying.
Louis Domingue.
Excuse me. Habination, that's what I kind of was just saying. They've got so many D prospects and everything. Not everybody's going to be here. I mean, it can't work out that way. So there's going to be some moves. I mean, they're going to be making trades. 1 or 2 of these guys are going to be moved. And I've already said, I think Norlinder is one of them that actually is going to be moved, kind of depending on maybe the next preseason, the training camp. Yeah, guys will be in Laval, but I think they'll use 1 or 2 of them in some moves. Dakota Joe, apparently Kemper's eye issue is not an issue. He's going to be fine. It's what I saw just before I came on for the live stream. He might even start on Monday. So it's apparently just some swelling and stuff. He got really lucky. He's going to be fine. Godfather, I like Slavkovsky, so I don't think it's a stretch like KK personally, but who am I? Like I said, also, I haven't done a total deep dive in these 3 guys at the top and a couple of others that are there. That's coming soon once I know where Montreal's picking. Chris, you're not wrong, but I mean, at some point you gotta, you're gonna have new ones coming along. You gotta move some out. But it isn't a bad thing of having all that, to pick from, basically. Yeah, Bill, I was just saying, Kemper's gonna be okay. Guru, you and I both, man. I don't know what I'm going to do if the Leafs win. I have to leave YouTube and Twitter for a while. Renegade Man, yes, I do. What's the asking price? I don't really 100% know.
Luka! There he is. I got him.
You got him?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Luca.
Hey, what's going on, gang?
What's happening?
I'm not sure what the asking price will be. What do you think the asking price will be for Petry?
For Jeff Petry?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on who's asking, right?
Well, the Habs are asking. It depends on who they're asking.
Yeah.
What team they're asking. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think he improved his trade value a little at the end. So there's,
I think Montreal's going to have to throw in one of those seconds or one of those thirds as a sweetener to take on that contract.
That's something.
Without retaining.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then if they can get maybe a pick and a prospect back. Or
Yeah.
a right shot D prospect back from a team that's kind of in more of a win now mode or who kind of wants that veteran presence on the blue line. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Mm.
That makes sense.
Oh, it does.
Dakota Joe, no, I don't think his eye was bleeding. I know that was an early report, and then I saw from the team, I think, that said he was fine, and there was just some swelling around the eye, and that he may start on Monday.
Yeah, that's actually a buddy of mine. We were talking about that. One of his buddies has kind of an insider-ish, and that's how we found out that his eye was bleeding. So we were like, "Uh-oh."
No, I don't think his eye was bleeding, though. I think that was not a valid report.
Mm-hmm.
If his eye was bleeding, I doubt they're talking about him starting.
No, if his eye was bleeding, he'd probably be at the hospital right now in surgery.
Yeah. So.
Did you see the picture though? Did I send you the picture of the blade going through? God.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Pretty. What does Dr. Luca think about that?
Oh yeah, that's true. We do have the team doctors.
It's all hearsay. It's all hearsay right now. I mean, I'd have to see the mechanism of injury and have to have a look at what actually happened. I didn't see what happened, so I can't.
The blade of a stick went right through in the mask there and caught him in the eye.
Oh.
But apparently, he's really lucky. It's just some swelling and stuff around the eye.
So it might not have caught him. It might have caught him directly in the eyeball. It might have,
Yeah, like somewhere around the eye,
in the orbit or something, like your orbital bone here, and he might have maybe fractured it or something. Maybe that's why there's swelling. But
well, they're talking about him playing on Monday. It's not an orbital bone fracture. No, apparently he's fine. It's like he's fine, and there's just some swelling around the eye. Imagine if the swelling goes down, he could play on Monday. If not, it's the game after, I guess. But his career, I don't think his career is in danger here. So he should knock.
If his eye got like skewered or something with the stick, then maybe.
Can you imagine? Boy.
Well, in that case, they would have had to call Luca to perform emergency surgery.
I thought the cages. I thought not just a puck, but I thought nothing is supposed to be able to get through like that. How did that blade of the stick get through?
Probably at the angle. Probably went in like this.
I guess. But I mean, I thought they were designed so that it doesn't matter. It can't penetrate. But I guess that's not true.
We've got some action in the chat about captaincy. Whether
it'll be Nick Suzuki.
Will or will not have one next season.
They've already said. Okay, this is Renegade saying. I'm guessing the Habs will not have a captain next season. They will because Hughes has said they will be naming a captain. And you know what? Weber, I saw something from him saying, without saying he's not the captain anymore, that he's not the captain anymore in name only. I think that's what he said. So he's gone. So they will be naming a new captain. Nick Suzuki.
Yeah, I can see Suzuki with Eddie, Guhle, and Byron having the 3 A's.
You think Byron's still here, or they're going to try to move him?
Maybe they move him at the deadline, but just
okay.
start the season. Because Byron's a guy that a team might want at next year's deadline because he's
Definitely
fast,
deadline.
he can fill penalties, right? And especially if he's having a good season and he stays healthy, right?
I'm just thinking about, they're really looking to make some cap space. You'd think that if they could get rid of that contract, they would.
Mm-hmm. You might not get as much for him now as you would by February, March next season, right? So and we're not in a huge rush to move $3.4 million, I think, on the cap is Byron's cap. So.
I'm not sure about that though. I think they're gonna have some cap issues. I mean, unless Price is, unless Price is on the LTIR, I think they're gonna have some cap issues. Actually, a question I wanted to ask
you. Weber's still be on the LTIR.
Yeah, but this was my question. Apparently, and I don't know the reason for this, they need to move Weber's contract.
Really?
There's some issue. Do you know why that is?
No idea.
They need to move it. What happens if they don't move it? Like, are they not going to be cap compliant?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know what it is, but it seems to be that they need to move Weber's contract. Like they're apparently Arizona's still interested, so I could see his contract being moved there. But I just don't understand. I don't understand why. So I don't know if you're only allowed a certain amount of guys on LTIR or a certain amount of money on LTIR. Which, anyways, if you haven't hit the cap limit, LTIR doesn't come into play. You only need the LTIR if you're at the cap. So I don't know. This is something I see a lot on Twitter, and I don't have an answer for why they would need to move the Weber contract.
I'm not reading anything that they need to, but they could.
They could. That's obvious, but I've seen it like many times, and I can't get an answer as to why. Now, granted, it's on Twitter, so it could be just bullshit, but I don't know.
I mean, hell, Gorton and Hughes could finesse Arizona's. What do they have? Like whatever their pick is, their second overall pick, and then we'll have top two picks.
I missed that. Wait.
Can you imagine we ship Shea Weber's contract off to with a little sweetener to Arizona, and we get their
they're not
their top pick, and then we end up with like fucking Shane Wright and Guhle or some shit.
No, that's not. I mean, that's not happening.
No, it wouldn't. But like, can you imagine? I lose my mind.
Habination, I hate to keep correct or whatever with you, but you're wrong only on this. The number, it's not $2 million in bonus. I think 1.137, something like that. It's a little over $1 million, but yeah, they have an overage in bonuses, and they're at the cap, so they can't use the cap so they have to let that go against the cap next year. So basically, they're not getting that $1 million that everyone's getting in the cap. Although I'm sure there's more teams in this shape than Montreal. But yeah, they're going to have a $1.137 million cap hit straight off. Wait, I wanted to... Brandon, yeah, I'm with Kemper. I don't know. I just saw that he might play Monday. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't follow it enough. I don't follow what Colorado's doing, huh?
We have a question from Ryan, and this one might be a little bit of a spark of discussion. What do you think about trying to sign Campbell?
Montreal?
Yeah.
I thought we wanted a good goalie. No? Don't we want a guy that's like a legitimate number? They're looking for a potential number one goalie because Price might not be out, and they don't feel anybody in the organization. Primo is not. They don't feel they have a number one goalie in the organization. So Primo, we know now, they're not looking at him as a number one goalie. Is Jack Campbell good enough that I want to go? No, I don't think so. What do you think?
What does Jack Campbell get on the open market? Let's start there.
Well, I think it depends on
if he's
on
that
how...
good. Why isn't Leafs signing him?
Do they have?
Leafs don't have Rick.
They don't have the
freaking money.
They don't have the space. They're paying him like $1 million, $2 million.
Have you seen their salary cap? True. They got like $50 million wrapped up in 3 players.
Luke, answer your own question. What do you think he's worth?
Well, what did Freddie get? Freddie got what, 4.5 or?
I think that's what he got, 4.5.
So you could see Campbell probably fetching a similar amount, considering how he's been playing for Toronto all season this season.
Your opinion, he's worth it or not?
Maybe. Well, is he worth it? Sample size is 1.5 years of good play. So for 1.5 years of good play, you're kind of paying for what you think he's going to do rather than,
I guess
what he actually has done. So he could get close to 4.55 million, especially if he keeps playing the way he's playing, because he hasn't been playing bad. Like even last year in the playoffs against Montreal, like he had a good series.
I'm not saying, but I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't spend money on him. Probably it's a bias because he's Toronto's goalie, but I don't know. I don't think I don't think Montreal's management has the same bias I have. So I imagine they'd be looking at him possibly.
Mm-hmm.
You think that would go over well, though? What do you think? How do you think that would go over?
I don't know.
If
he makes saves and can play on a consistent basis every night, Bell Center will go soup.
I guess, and that's the truth of it, right? If he wins, it's all forgiven, right?
Winning talks. That's
it's true.
Everything, right?
Yeah,
it's the truth of it. Except for certain players. Except for certain players.
I just wanted to add something to the goalie talk because I've been watching a lot of OHL playoffs, especially being in Kingston right now. So I've been watching Shane throughout the playoffs. They played against North Bay last night, and Joe Verbetic, who is one of our prospects, actually played very well in that game. He gave up 4 goals, but some of the saves he was making, they were top quality, like perfect positioning, lateral movement, excellent rebound control against, some of the top players in the OHL. So even though he's a 7th round pick, he's a guy that you got to look at on a North Bay team. He was like 29-11 in the OHL with a sub. It was like 3.6 or 3.7 goals against average or something even below that. And so in the OHL, that's very good because OHL is so high scoring. Anything around the 3.5 mark for goalies is pretty good. So he's a guy that's been quietly having a good junior season.
And he is, if I'm right, 6'6". He's a big guy.
Yes, he's a very big guy.
Yeah.
He's 6'6".
What do you think of Dobis? Jacob Dobis.
No, he's been playing well too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's I think we know now Primo. With Hughes saying there isn't a number one goalie in our organization other than Carey Price, Primo's not considered then, right? We know that now, right? They're not thinking Primo's a number one goalie.
All due respect to Caden Primo, I'm kind of cool with that. I just, man, it would take a while to develop him. And I just he's not he's not number one. Yeah. He's not ready and he should have been showing better at this point. I think that's how they're looking at it. And but I mean, I think that's a big statement. So if anybody was wondering, no, Primo's not being considered really to replace Carey Price in the future.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you look at a guy like Devin Levi, who was taken in the 7th round, and he's been playing amazing.
Oh, I'm not saying it's because he's a 7th rounder. That's not why.
Currently, we don't have anyone that projects to be a number one goalie. But
right, I guess that's what he means.
Who's to say that one of those guys that we have, can't? Right. Like I'm just saying from what I've seen from, Joe Verbetic and what I've seen from Dobis. Right.
Oh, I don't think he's talking about Verbetic, right? But I don't think he's talking about Verbetic. Have they signed ELCs?
No.
So they're not part of the organization yet. He's not talking about them. He's talking about in the organization right now. So, because I think then that would be saying Dobis and the other ones, and I think there might be one down there and those guys.
It could. Are they going to become Carey Price? Probably.
Well, no, that's
right.
That's a big difference. Saying a guy could be a number one goalie and being the next Carey Price. That's a big statement. Just you can be a number one goalie and not be as good as Carey Price easily.
Yeah. I did a little fun thing on Cap Friendly, and someone mentioned Joshua in the chat. They wanted to talk about him, so but I did something on Cap Friendly, and I added in Shane Wright and Connor Bedard to our team. You know, the best case scenario. But if you put those two guys in the team by 2024, the Habs are competing again.
I think they will be. With just one of those guys in there, I think we're trending to that anyway, aren't we?
Yeah.
Kind of by 2024 to be competing. I'm not saying winning the cup by any means, but
I think we'll be in competition for a playoff spot.
You throw in Joshua. Joshua will be in the team by then. Sean Farrell will also be.
Riley Kidney lit the queue up too with Joshua.
Riley Kidney,
both of them had phenomenal seasons.
70 assists for Riley Kidney, and Joshua had 51 goals and 68 assists.
60 is only like 2 behind Kidney, and Kidney led the queue with the 70 assists.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 awesome seasons there.
Mm-hmm. Future's bright, man.
And it's not just on D. Future's bright, kind of all around.
Yeah, I think that draft was very difficult for teams because it was the COVID draft.
True.
I'm pretty sure. So a lot of very, very good talents dropped just from the fact that they weren't able to see them play. And I mean, you look at what Joshua is doing right now. If this was his, D0 or D-1 year, you'd be talking about a guy going in the first round most likely.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah,
he's going to be on the World Junior team this summer.
Just
about it, right?
It's like anybody. Does it translate to the NHL? We don't know yet, and he's really young, 18. But I mean, a real promising player in WoW. I think there's such what's the word I want to look? They get such a bad rap, Bergevin and Timmins. But you know what? In the last couple of years, they left us with some good prospects.
Well, let's not forget Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki are already on the big club.
And
so that too.
If you got to give Timmins some credit on the Caulfield, they had an offer to trade, but he held off, and because he had a feeling Caulfield was going to drop all the way to them, and he held off, and it worked out. So you got to give him some credit too.
Yeah, there is a video of them at that 2019 draft, and Rick's exactly right. They got multiple calls about teams wanting to trade up because they saw Caulfield was dropping, and they're like, "We'll give you extra picks to move back." And Timmins was adamant, saying, "No, we're picking this kid. We're taking this kid.
If he drops here, we're taking
the kid that we believe in, right?"
Yeah.
He said, "Mine. You can't have it. Keep your hands off."
Right, and he told Julian right away, like, "We got you a goal scorer. We got you a kid that can score goals." And he proved from February 6th, February 7th throughout the rest of the season, scoring at close to a 50-goal pace. For 40 games, he scored at that pace. Right? It wasn't like he had a blip, he had like 5 goals in 5 games and then, went back.
Are we talking this season now, the end of this season?
Yeah, the end of this season.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a big enough sample. Okay, it's not as big as you might want, but that's a pretty big sample the second half of the season to score at that
goals,
pace.
It was 22 goals in 40 games, 22 goals in 38 games or something like that.
Right.
So 40-goal pace, 40-plus goal pace.
Yeah, definitely. This kid can score 40 to 50 goals a season. I mean, he did this in his rookie season, right? So everybody who was, he'll get 25, man, he's too small. No, this kid's going to get his points, man. He's going to get those goals.
Yeah, he was 40-ish goals, probably 80-ish points around there. Because he was he had like 20-something assissists too, right?
Yeah, I think it was 23 goals, 20 assists. I think when it was all said and done, 23 goals, 21 assists.
He could be, he could be a point a game player. We could have 2 of them on the team, like right now. Not that they're right now, but in the next 2 years.
Oh, and Nick Suzuki's only getting better every year. Yeah. I mean, look at his point production, literally every single year.
I expect him to be a point a game next year.
Especially if Nick and Cole have the whole season together.
Yeah. And I think Cole will be right on his ass. And I could see 1 year or 2. Like, I can see a year or even I can see Cole scoring more points than Nick sometimes. Like, he's proved he can put up points.
Which is scary because Nick Suzuki is still going to put up a shitload of points.
Get used to it. Listen, I'm used to it, not lately, but I've lived this. You know, I was reading something just before coming on. What year was it? The 1978? One of the 70s teams that won the Cup. There were 11 Hall of Famers on that team. That's crazy when you think about it. 11 on the same freaking team at one time. That's insane. So I'm kind of I'd like to get
dynasty.
back to that.
That's like above dynasty.
That's crazy. So I'd love to get back to that. Hell.
Yeah, I don't think that's how the league works anymore. I think there's too much parity. There's too much parity, and there's too many teams for that to be the.
It's not happening. But we could have a couple of them here easily. A couple of Hall of
Fame. We have Carey.
We have Carey. You think he'll make the Hall of Fame without a cup win?
Even though without the cup, for international hockey, like they take that into consideration too. They take international hockey.
I mean, he's literally done everything except.
I hadn't thought of that. I hadn't really thought of that, and you're right. So yeah, I'd love to see him make.
He's won all the individual awards. He's won at least a couple Vezinas. I know he's won at least one, but he's had to have won at least one or two.
No, I think he's just had the one.
Really?
Yeah.
But still, he's won everything under the sun except for a Stanley Cup.
Yeah. And his Vezina season, he was also the MVP. And
he won everything under the sun. So
right?
I think he's in. I don't see why he wouldn't be.
No, I don't.
He didn't win a cup, but like,
I'm looking.
He's still one of the greatest goaltenders to ever play the game of hockey.
Oh no, he's a great goalie. Yeah. Habination, I think I looked this up and I did this in the video. It's 1.137 million in bonus overage. If that's what your 1.856 is, or 8675 is, sorry. If you're bottom 5 again next year, you don't sign a goalie. Bedard and Mishkov are very high end. What does that mean? Chris, I'm not sure what you mean there.
Well, I think what he's trying to say is don't rush to get competitive again. Like, don't try and sign a number one to try and stay in that bottom 5 because
I think they'll be there next year. I don't expect them to be like heads and tails above what they were this year. I don't.
Yeah, the chance of having the ability to draft either Bedard or Michkov, like the last time I can think about 2 players of that caliber in the same draft going 1 and 2, not even McDavid and Eichel. I would say it's pretty much the Crosby and Ovechkin. Like,
were they the same draft year? They weren't.
That's like 2 players coming up at the same time. I meant.
Okay.
Right.
Well, okay, but you can go. How about 1971? Guhle, Fleur, Marcel Dion. There was and Gilles Perreault. Weren't they all in the same draft year? There's 3 Hall of Famers.
So yeah.
Well, Larry Robinson was that draft.
And Larry Robinson was in the second round.
I'm just thinking.
How the hell did that happen?
I'm just thinking that it makes the most sense because Michkov is pretty much a carbon copy of Ovechkin, and Bedard is pretty much a carbon copy of Sidney Crosby.
But I fully expect Montreal to be in the running. To be like
but I don't think
in position
if we win the draft
win
lottery this year and get first, I don't think we can do it next year because of the rule change. I don't think you can win
twice.
First.
You can do it twice in 5-year periods.
2 and 5
you can do
years.
it twice in 5
all right.
years. So
I wasn't because I knew there were other rules. All right, I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah,
all right, cool.
So and I fully like I expect them to be in the bottom 5 next year. I don't expect them to make such an improvement where they're not at least bottom 10, but I think they're going to still be around the bottom 5. I don't think they'll be last. I think they'll improve, but they won't improve so much that they're not in that bottom part.
I think if we're really optimistic and we want to start living in a fantasy, I think what ends up happening is Bedard and Caulfield end up on the same line, and then Wright or Suzuki will center that line. And can you think of a line that has more skill or more talent in about 5 years' time?
I'm telling you, I've seen some highlights from this Bedard kid. Man, he's insanely good.
He's got swagger.
He's got
a lot of swagger.
When you want to know what the word swagger means, you look it up. Like his picture is there. He's got it. He'll score from anywhere. He will shoot anywhere, and
he will score from anywhere.
Crazy angles. I thought Caulfield, I was really impressed with some of the shit I saw Caulfield do, and then this kid come to hold my beer. And I've seen him put some pucks in the net. How? Mm-hmm. Like he had a centimeter maybe he was aiming at, and he hits it.
Well, he's just elite. He's an elite talent.
He's elite. Like you take elite players, and this kid looks like he's going to be an elite player amongst those.
He's elite at 16.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's 16. He's that's the craziness of it,
right? Like aside from Shane Wright, like Bedard's the next best kid in Junior A hockey right now in Canada,
which is crazy in itself. Just right there, right at 16. Stuff. I've seen him make some shots. Like you got to shake your head and go, like, how do you hit a target that small? And you're moving. Like, how do you do it? I can't even imagine it.
Yeah. And he still has to fill out as well because
at 16
he's only 16 years old and he's already 180 pounds, so he's already kind of built like a fire hydrant almost.
Size though, how tall is he?
5'10", I want to say.
I mean,
5'9".
Who knows? He might grow on a couple more inches. Yeah, he could hit.
He could hit 6 feet.
Mm-hmm.
He's at 16.
He's still growing. Damn good. 6 foot. He puts on another 10 pounds.
Unless he's Cole, he's still growing. Cole stopped growing in 5th grade.
Shane is sneaky tall. Shane is sneaky big too. He's 6'1", 187 or something.
Yeah, he's 6'1", I think. Yeah.
Right, and he's an 04, so he even still has room to grow as well.
Yeah, up to 21. You can still grow.
You imagine we hit this year, next year, and we end up with Wright and Bedard. Oh.
It's not going to happen, but
it won't.
It's not going to happen.
I mean, this fucking team, man.
And I'll tell you,
if it does, the Habs immediately become cup contenders by 2025.
God, yeah, not just competitive. We're talking about freaking cup contenders.
Yeah, because you have 2 franchise players plus Nick and Cole who are already proving for themselves to be potential franchise.
Plus a brick wall named Caden Guhle on the back end.
And that's when, if they hit with the next year, they look for that. They look to hit that goalie, because now you're ready to put that goalie in place if you can get him, and then you're definitely winning a fucking cup. Sorry for swearing. Mm-hmm. Did any of you guys see the little clip that Canadians put out of Ivan Cornway talking to Cole Caulfield and telling him, "You're going to be here we have you for a long time, and you're going to win a cup in your time here."
Yeah.
Oh man, I had goosebumps.
He called him his Roadrunner.
Cole Caulfield goes, "That's the plan," and he smiled. I'm like, "My man."
It gave me a video because when I saw that, because I've been looking for who to compare Cole Caulfield to from a former Habs great. And you got Naslund, you got Henri Richard, but it's not an exact comparison. But if you compare him to Ivan Cornway, that's a pretty damn good comparison.
Well, if you look at it from just a pure sniper's perspective, Steve Shutt is a name that comes to mind. Not only because of the number, but also because of the fact that Steve Shutt just sniped goals left, right, and center.
I get it, but of style on the ice and the way he plays, I don't know. I think it's a better comparison with Cornway. All those breakaways, Cornway would get you 2-3 breakaways a game where he'd get you out of your seat, screaming. Cole Caulfield does the exact same thing.
He has great anticipation. Like you can see his hockey IQ is off the charts when you see him break out on those breakaways like that, because his anticipation is so good. He knows where the puck is going to be even before it's there.
And you know what I like when I'm watching?
He can create his own breakaways too, like we saw in the playoff. Like he'll chip a puck around a guy.
And he did it in the last game against Florida too. His second goal of the Hattie in Florida, he just picked it up along the half wall at center ice, deked through 2 guys, finished backhand. Like
that's another thing. A small guy like that, not afraid to go to the middle, not afraid to work his way into the middle, get in front of the net to where you score from. Yeah, BL
says Cornway is faster, but Cole has a better release. That's so true. His release is heavy, it's quick, it's deceptive.
Okay, where's that
comment? That puck's on off the stick in like a millisecond, not even.
I don't realize how I let these comments go. Wow.
I remember the first time Rick really saw Cole Caulfield's release too. He was like, "Holy shit! I've never seen a puck on and off the stick that
lightning.
quick."
It's lightning.
He was like, "Oh my god!"
You can't. It's hard to track it when you're watching it on TV.
It is.
Like you'll see him release. You'll see him follow through, and by the time he's followed through, the puck's already hit twine and it's bounced back on the ice.
Not only that, in slow motion, You still can't see the puck. It leaves us. You can't see the puck.
No, you can't.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before. He was the first one I noticed that. I guess I'm giving it away. So my next video, I think I'm comparing Cornway and so I'll have clips to show you how they look, and that's my next video. Is the Ivan Cornway and Cole Caulfield. So spoiler alert.
I love what Cole said too, because he smiled at Cornway. He goes, "That's the plan." I was like, I love this kid, man, love it.
Nicholas wants to talk about who the Habs could potentially go after with their late first and their 2 second rounders.
I have zero idea, but I think if it's a second rounder, I wouldn't be surprised if they go after Hughes' kid.
He might get taken before then.
He might, but if he's there, I wouldn't be surprised if they pick him up there.
Yeah. I've been on the record to say one thing that I could suggest that they would do is, because they have that second rounder, which is like the 33rd pick, right? Because it's Montreal's own. What I was thinking was, if they packaged that with something else and moved up, they could pick up a player in the late teens. And there's a couple that I really like up there. A guy like Yuri Kulik, who was the leading scorer at the under 18s, just absolutely lit up the tournament. A guy like Isaac Howard, if he's able to drop there, because he's a left wing that can just score goals. He scored 4 goals against Canada at the U18s. He's another guy that you're looking at that could be really, really good. A couple other U.S. national development guys that are going in that late teens, early 20s there. And I'm looking at some boards, and some boards even have a guy like Connor Geekie on Winnipeg Ice, who's been Winnipeg Ice is arguably their best player aside from Savoie, and he's a big body, 6'4", 200 pounds, great two-way game, also got a heavy shot. So
I just saw something about him on Twitter. That would be funny because we'd have Guhle and Geekie. That would be pretty cool.
So that's one thing that they could potentially do. And even if they don't move those second round picks and they stay at 29, someone could drop. Someone could drop to them. There's good players like Owen Pickering, who is Canada's best D-man at the under 18s. You could have a guy like Ty Nelson, who plays for North Bay. He's been one of North Bay's best players in the OHL. Might be a little bit of a stretch for him to go in the first round, but maybe they could take Nelson with one of their second round picks. But there's a lot of good names in and around that area that might not necessarily be in a position to make a team right away, but guys that could project, to be a top 6 option or a top 4 if they end up panning out.
I doubt anybody in that area will be like right away anyway. Maybe your top 5 picks there. I don't know if anybody outside of that's going to be a right away player.
There are guys though, like David Pastrnak. Like, he got picked 25th overall.
True.
He did 1 year at Providence, and then his rookie season he just explodes for goals. Right?
Yeah. You never know. You never know for sure. And there's always one that just reaches beyond. There's at least one every year. Let's see. 33rd pick has to be used on a goalie. Why we have 30? I guess we have 33rd pick.
Yeah.
Why would it have to be used on a goalie? Why would he have to be used on a goalie that high up?
Yeah, that might be a stretch.
The number 33, Patrick Waugh.
That's why.
Fair.
Good eye.
If we were actually talking about it, it might be a stretch because, like Tario is saying, there isn't like a Sebastian Cossa or an Askarov.
I was going to say, I haven't heard anything about goalies that high up this year, right? There's another Askarov that just got signed or got a tryout, and I was wondering, it's not the same Askarov. Mm-hmm. You answered a question I had from like last week without knowing it. I haven't heard of any goalies listed that high up. Like any talk about any goalies. So I doubt they reach for a goalie there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think BPA, I really think BPA is going to be the way they go for these 2 first rounders.
You should. Yeah, they should do that always.
Mm-hmm. Should do it always. Should.
Yes.
Should.
Nicholas is saying exactly what you're just saying, that there's a lot of interesting players in that area of the draft.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that have a great skill set, and there's some players that can do one or two things very, very well. But like I've been saying this whole time, there aren't really too many complete players like Shane and Guhle. Like those are the two guys that you can pretty much in the bank. You know, they're going to give you night in, night out, 20 minutes a night, both sides of the puck, power play, penalty kill.
What is it about Guhle that you see that the people who are like saying he's not worth it? Because I know you like Guhle. I don't know much, so I was.
His defensive game, I think, is underrated just because everyone talks about how fast he is and how smart he is, and his vision on the ice is so elite. I think people are underrating how good he is defensively. Like his skating is amazing, but also his stick activation, his ability to get involved in the play, win battles. He's a sneaky good defensive player, right? He could end up being one of the best two-way players in the draft, if not better than Shane Wright. Like because Logan Guhle has a bit more offensive potential than Shane Wright, just because of the fact that he's just a better skater. Shane's a good skater, but he doesn't have the acceleration. Right? But when Shane gets open ice, he gets on a roll, and when he starts going downhill, there's no stopping him. But Guhle from point to point, from like 5-10 feet, his acceleration is great too. So
I'm sure if we get right, they'll work on that with him with this new skills coach. Like I've said before, that's his specialty is the skating, is the footwork. Somebody just brought up a name that I wanted to talk about, but sorry, go ahead, Matt.
Well, I was going to say too, and if I'm not mistaken, he's like one of the best skating coaches too, right? That they just brought in.
Yes, he gets rave reviews from what I understand. BL brought up a name that I know they're looking at this kid. He says, fellas, come draft time, remember the name Nathan Guhle, 6'3" center with the Quebec Rempart. I just saw something about this. The Habs are definitely considering. They scouted this kid and they're looking at him. I don't know that it would be a top 3 pick, so I don't know where he would. Maybe the later first round pick that they have. But this kid apparently is pretty good, Guhle, and I don't know that everybody's heard of him. He's playing for
I'm on his EP right now, and Bob McKenzie has him as high as 20, but Dover Prospects has him at 43. He's 16th in North American by NHL Central. Craig Button's got him at 47. So I mean, it all depends. Yeah, it all depends on what they see out of him. You know, like if he's there for their second round with their Edmonton, especially with their Edmonton pick, right? If he drops as far down as it says he might drop here, or they get word that a team wants to take him and maybe they reach up for him in the second round.
Right. Okay, because I don't know anything about
Cosentino has him at 24. But I haven't heard too much of this kid. He was a point per game in the QMJHL in his second season or third season in the QMJHL.
And he's playing under Patrick Roy, I guess, their Quebec Rempart. That's Patrick Roy, isn't he?
I imagine he brings some physicality and some two-way play as well. If he's 6'3", 207.
And he's a big body. He's a big body.
He's a big guy. Can probably throw the body around a little bit. Haven't heard too much of this guy, so I can't really comment on him. I'm not going to talk out of my ass about him.
No, definitely.
It does seem like he is rated pretty highly by most scouts. So
yeah, and it's and he's a Quebec kid, so I guess that's another reason they're looking at him. Nicholas is asking you any opinion on Nemec versus Jiricek, except that one is fast and offensive versus more defensive two-way play. Thinking ceiling, he's thinking ceiling and etc. How you see?
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's a good question. I mean, they're two very similar players, but when I was watching the World Juniors and before Jurček got hurt, I was more impressed with him. But now, Jurček got hurt and Nemitz was kind of given Jurček's minutes in the World Juniors for those couple games. And the way that he's been playing now back in the Czech Liga, I think Nemitz kind of has that Hedman-esque potential where not only is he a big guy, but the guy can just completely drive the play. Like he'll jump in the rush, no problem. And he's just a powerful kid. So, could he be a top line D? Of course. Could he not pan out? We don't know.
Do you think they would reach? You think they might draft a guy? You think they might draft a defenseman in their first pick?
Not if Slavkovsky's there. Like it's right, Guhle and Slavkovsky. Those are the three.
They're guaranteed one of those three. I mean, they're guaranteed a top 3 pick.
Yeah. So
the worst they can do is third.
I don't.
Penguins scored 5-4. Little update.
I don't know if it's you're Slovakian. Sorry, I don't know if that's going to be the way they go, especially because of the depth they have on D versus their need for a top line forward to fill out the Caulfield and Suzuki line.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they go for a defenseman unless something happens between now and then. I don't see what could because there's no games for these guys. I don't think they go for a defenseman. It wouldn't make sense to me.
Happy Nation's on me for liking Logan Guhle.
Yeah,
we can agree to disagree on that one.
That's all. Exactly.
Yeah, I watched him just light up Canada and skate circles around all of Canada's under 18 defensemen. So I mean,
yeah, I know. Listen, right. But it's funny
because on best, he was the kid that shined.
It depends on who you talk to. Yeah. Like a lot of people are like Habs Nation, and then it's like 50-50. He's going to be great. He's going to be not great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I haven't really seen.
I have to go off of what I'm watching. Like I don't get time to watch all these guys, but in the games I do get to watch, I have to go off of what I've seen. And
yeah, for sure.
Do I overrate everybody because I only pick on their best things? Yeah, probably. But we want to be optimistic here, especially with a pick like that, right? We don't want to be talking about all the bad things about them when we're picking them first overall. We want to talk about what they could potentially bring to our lineup.
Yeah, for sure. Ra has been more dominant than Wright. Which Ra? Joshua Ra?
Joshua.
But he's already in the organization, so we don't have to draft him now. Mm-hmm. I don't get why the comparison.
Yeah, that's a tough comparison to make. They're two completely different players. And they're not even the same age.
I'm looking for something that. Wow, I'm missing so many comments.
No, BL, I think I take right at 1.
Crypto says, don't forget about Logan Mailloux. Yeah, can't forget about him too because he has skill.
Yeah, but he's not. I mean, he's going to be back with London next season.
Yeah, he'll be with London next season, and then he'll sign his ELC at the end of next season.
Yeah, right. I mean, he's a little bit behind in the development just because of, and he missed a lot of time this.
He missed a lot of time this season due to disciplinary reasons, and he also got hurt. So, but there's another guy with a lot of potential offensive upside, but he's more of an offensive defenseman than a two-way defenseman, just based on his skill set.
Just curious on your take on. I guess he was just responding.
Oh, Nicholas was just
that. Yeah, that was from Nicholas. Sorry. Yeah, I agree with Crypto there. Right, Guhle or Slavkovsky can't go wrong. I think. I don't see how you pick anybody else if you're there.
Yeah, Slavkovsky. I don't know if he's a slam dunk as much as Shane Wright would be, or even Logan Guhle for that matter. Just because he had a great tournament, but You also got to remember his play right now in Europe has not been up to snuff.
Right.
Since coming back from the Olympics.
That's what I heard.
Like in TPS Liga, he's got 7 points in 18 playoff games, 2 goals, 5 assists. But in the regular season, he only had 5 goals and 5 assists in 31 games.
Not a great. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, listen.
I don't know what his usage is though, because his usage, he might not be the top line guy, right? He might be a second, third line guy, and he might not be getting the minutes.
That's true.
However, it's not super enthusiastic, the numbers. However, you watched him in the Olympics and he was the guy for Slovakia. Like he was the tournament MVP for a reason.
Yeah, the Olympics.
He drove the play. He was shooting from everywhere, putting pucks past goalies with an amazingly quick shot. And not only that, is he can stick handle in a phone booth. For a guy that's
he's got size too. Yeah, for a big kid.
Yeah.
It's interesting too, because Rick, when we were talking the other day about Hughes wanting to add size, I mean that would be the pick, right? But again, if it's first overall, I think you have to take Shane Wright.
Yeah, you don't reach at first.
No, just because Shane Wright has proven even in the second half of this year that he has all the tools, and I've been on record saying this before. He has all the tools to be a number 1 center in the NHL. It's just, are they all refined at this point yet? No.
No, exactly.
All the tools are there. Everything is in the cupboard. It's just a matter of, polishing the silverware now.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, It makes sense. Yeah. Teresa, Mailloux will not be in Laval next year. I don't think he can. He has to sign an ELC to do that. Wouldn't that be the case?
Yeah.
To go to play professional hockey, you have to sign. So, yeah, he won't be there. Chris, yes, they were together. BL says, hey, Rick, if you call U-turn Captain Underpants, you got a name picked out for Mailloux? No, I don't. And I won't be as I won't treat Mailloux the same way you might think, for a very important reason. And that is that Mailloux has at least owned up to what he's done, paid the price for what he's done, what he was punished. Captain Underpants has done none of that. I can't respect that guy. So, no, Mailloux might get an easier pass than you might think from me, depending on how he goes in the future.
Yeah, Crypto is asking about Savoie, and Savoie started this season as the consensus number 2 guy, right behind Shane Wright.
Yeah.
But I think the main thing that's kind of dragged him back, he's still a top 5 player, and based on his offensive skill set, he has the greatest offensive upside out of any player in this draft. And we're just talking about pure just scoring ability and ability to get points. He probably has a greater upside than Shane Wright when it comes to maximum points that you can get in the NHL. But what's really brought him back is his size. He's not a big guy. And also he's a bit of a power play merchant. His production at 5-on-5 has not been amazing in the WHL. It's been good, but it hasn't been top pick. The majority of his production comes on the power play. And I think that's why you don't see him at number 2 like we did at the start of the season. Still a great player though. Still,
and if you go
the best skater by far.
And as far as size, then that's not going to work, especially if Hughes is saying they're going to get bigger. Mm-hmm. I don't think Savoie is the pick.
No, Savoie skating though is the best. Like there's no doubt about it. He's a better skater than Guhle. He's a better skater than Ray. His edge work is amazing. You watch some of the edge work that he's able to pull off. The guy looks like McDavid when he's skating. Like it's crazy.
That's good skill.
Yeah, BL Def agrees with me. Best skater in the draft. Yeah, his edge work is just unbelievable. Like, you watch this guy, like I can watch drills of him just doing edge work drills, and it's so satisfying.
Randy, who are the Habs scouts? I don't know the scouts changed that much, but the director is Marty. Is it Lapointe? Marty Lapointe, I think, is the director. And that's in North America, and they have a European guy too. But I don't know the dual scouts.
Born to be a Hab wants to get on the PLD or Laugh Talk here. So, what do we think? If they're shopping Laugh or if they're shopping PLD? Do we give up the rights to draft Guhle?
Would you trade the top pick? Oh, I've answered this a number of times. No, I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't. And they can't anyway. First of all, can't afford PLD. They weren't not going to be able to afford Dubois. So that's out, in my opinion. And number 2 is, are you sure the Rangers are going to trade Lafreniere? Maybe for the top pick. Yeah, I guess. But why? Why would you trade? Would you rather have Lafreniere than Shane Wright?
I mean, I'd rather have Shane Wright. I mean, it's no disrespect to Lafreniere, but I think he's kind of underperformed since he's been drafted. But like, I just think, I mean, it's kind of a once in a lifetime thing to have the first overall pick here. I just think you got to have more than just one of those two guys if you're gonna trade away first overall. You know what I mean? Like, you got to get like a bona fide star if you're trading the first overall pick.
Yeah, you never trade the first overall pick.
No.
That's what you. If it's the third overall pick, and if the brass isn't sold on a guy like Slafkovsky, if they're not sold on Guhle and don't think that his offensive potential is as high as someone like Lafreniere, then maybe they entertain that option. But if you have the chance to draft the first overall pick in Montreal,
you're not doing
potential franchise number 1 center, and you have Nick Suzuki and Shane Wright down the middle as a 1-2 punch, as a 1 and a 1A for the next 10-15 years. You're kicking yourself.
It's an easy.
I mean, if you trade that first overall pick, I mean, that's a good way to get the fan base to turn on you and run you out of town. You know what I'm saying? Like,
first of all, Habby Nation, I kind of don't like using the term Frenchies, so that's number 1. And I know you're not serious anyway.
My left pinky is better than Jonathan Drouin crypto.
Wait, he might be another Drouin. Who might be another Drouin?
Shane Wright? He said he might be better than Drouin. I'm like,
Lafreniere.
Friggin' Jonathan Drouin. Laffy actually plays hockey for a full season. That's one plus right there. He also makes less money, but save a little money.
Well, they're different. They're different players.
That too.
Lafreniere is a physical guy as much as he is a good playmaker.
Yeah.
Whereas Drouin doesn't get involved in puck battles.
God, no.
Well, no, and like I said, Lafreniere actually get a full season out of Lafreniere. Drouin will play half the year and probably hurt his wrist again. He did.
Too much Malakia. That's Drouin's problem.
I really wish that Drouin would work, but I think I'm good with him. I just with the amount of money he's making, I just think it's time to just try to ship him off.
You can't. He's injured. He's injured. Who's trading for Drouin coming back?
The problem is he gets injured before the trade deadline every goddamn year. So
I know,
can't move him.
Who's trading to get him and he's out off of wrist surgery? Who's taking that chance? Or what are we having to sweeten that deal with to get somebody to do that? Right? No, it's not happening until he comes back to play. Next trade deadline,
he's going to get hurt before the deadline. It's going to be a never-ending cycle.
Well, they hold him out mid-season until the deadline.
I wonder if they experiment putting him with Suzuki and Caulfield.
But they have
50 assists with those two guys and then ship them off.
It's kind of, to me, it's gotten to the point where it's trying to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. It's insanity.
It's insanity, yeah.
That's what's happening with Drouin. So you're going to put him here, there. Doesn't matter where they put him. He doesn't play well long enough to play any. I don't know what I'm saying exactly.
And it's a shame that he can't string together a span of 30, 40
consistent
games, because he'll have games, 5-game stretches, 10-game stretches where he's the Habs' top scorer.
And then he's invisible.
Without him on the power play, like, he helps you a lot on the power play because of his ability to make that cross-seam pass, his ability to fling pucks right on people's tapes, because he's a great passer.
And that's the thing.
Vision.
If he could play a full season of hockey, he would be such a boost to this team because of that very reason. He's arguably the best passer, if not one of the best passes on the team. I mean, the way
he's also a top 3 puck carrier.
Yeah, the way he can string together those tape to tape passes is unreal. It just he keeps getting hurt. After like 30
frustrating.
games.
He's frustrating to watch because you're always expecting more, and he just doesn't deliver it.
But then there'll be games where he does give you more, where he gives you a goal and 2 assists. And
no, I know, but there's no consistency, and it's just frustrating. But does he put up enough points for a play? I mean, he does. Although I think he's paid a little too much for what he does put up. But he's consistent. He'll give you 50 points, maybe a little more every season.
If he played a full season,
there's something to that. But yeah,
if he played a full season, though, that's
it's a point. It's a point for every. I thought it was $1 million for every 10 points as a forward.
I guess.
But that's the other issue. I mean, he's making what, $5.5 million to basically play half a season. I mean, we could use that money somewhere else at this point.
Oh yeah,
like, you know what I mean? It's just it's at that point where I mean, I don't even care what we would get. Like, I'd trade him for a couple of extra pucks and warm ups.
A bag of pucks
for a number 1 goalie, maybe.
Yeah, I'd like the cap space
for a Billy Husso.
Yeah, it's just if he was making like $1 million, $1.5 million, I probably wouldn't care that much. But I mean, the amount of money he's making, it's like, all right, at some point, either he's getting traded, like you got to trade him, or just tell him, like, listen, like we're wrapping you in a bubble when you're on the ice, and like when you're off the ice, you're going in a bubble because we can't do it anymore.
Chris, Guhle is going to Minnesota.
Cool. What?
Chris
University of Minnesota.
He's going to college. He's going to the University of Minnesota. Okay. I mean, he could be a guy that you could probably see him win the Hobey Baker.
Hang on, I wanted just to Habby Nation calling me bloke, or if I'm French and you call me Frenchie. Bloke don't bother anybody. Frenchie, people can take offense to. I'm talking in terms of I running a channel. I don't want to offend people for nothing like that. So to me, I'm sorry, I don't like the term Frenchie. I don't know, what does bloke mean? Bloke's not a what's the word I'm looking for? It's not an insult to call somebody, hey, bloke. That's nice. But calling someone Frenchie, I don't know that that's nice. That's all. That's my public service announcement.
For Pittsburgh.
AH2O,
everything will be all right. If we get first pick, we'll find out Tuesday.
The lottery balls, the ping pong balls. It's our Stanley Cup final. I go around telling everybody, hey, Stanley Cup final, May 10th.
Crypto, I get there's worse words, and I didn't give him, but I'm just saying, it's not a word. I don't like it. What do you want from me? Can say it all he wants. I gave you my opinion. That's all. Hear me sticking up for French people. And we hit the end.
Do we want to go over the odds again for those who maybe don't know what?
If you got them, sure.
Exactly, the odds are.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because there has been a change for people that don't know. There has been a change to how the lottery is going to be conducted.
When did this change happen?
And so the Habs are in a unique position where even if they do not win the lottery, they can still pick first overall. Yes.
Oh, because of it's the first year with this change. That's right.
It's okay, now I know. Where teams cannot move up higher than no more than 10 spots if they win the draft lottery. So teams 1 to 11 can pick first overall if they win the lottery. However, Columbus, New York, Winnipeg, Vancouver, and Vegas, if any of those teams win the draft lottery on Tuesday, They can only move up a maximum of 10 spots, which means Montreal will retain the right to pick first overall. So instead of the 18.5% that we've all been told is Montreal's chance of winning the draft lottery, the odds of them picking first overall is actually 25.5%.
Yeah.
So we get that.
So 1 in 4 chance that we're going to get that pick.
So good news would be because they started the. Oh, sorry.
Wait, no, just one second. I don't think a lot of people pick up on this because we're thinking in terms of before this rule change, and that option wasn't there. This is the first year that, yes, Montreal might not win the first pick, win the lottery, but they could still pick first.
Mm-hmm.
That hasn't happened before.
Yeah,
it's a new rule.
There is another thing though that people do need to keep in mind is that although we have the highest odds to pick first overall, 25.5, and Arizona is the next closest at 13.5. Our odds of picking third overall are just under 56%.
Yes, that's our highest odds. So more than likely, we're coming away third.
So on a coin toss.
And when you think, just to say one thing, I always say to everybody, oh, we're going to get right. We might not. And that's prove it right there. That's they have the highest odds of getting third pick. That's what I mean.
Yeah. And then our odds of picking second are 18.8%. Picking second. So we have a better chance of picking first than picking second by virtue of the fact that Columbus, New York, Winnipeg, Vancouver, and Vegas cannot pick first.
Right. And listen, if Montreal's not going to get that first pick, like by winning the lottery, let's hope one of those guys in the back gets it.
Yeah, those guys in the back have a combined 7% chance.
I know, but that doesn't mean they can't.
No, it doesn't mean they can't. We saw Team E in the COVID season in the bubble. We saw Team E jump up.
That's right. It has happened. It happens that sometimes those guys get the pick. So that would be a great option if that happens.
Yeah, Happy Nation, 55.7% chance that 2 teams jump ahead of us.
Yes, that's right.
55.7% chance that 2 teams jump ahead of us.
Yeah, no, that's right. It's unlikely. Mm-hmm. It's more unlikely that they won't get that pick than that they will. So that's why have to tank in that they couldn't have any wins at the end of the season because it's going to affect. It doesn't, it didn't make sense to think that way.
Yeah. Tankathon, I guess they ran a simulation of, I imagine, probably 1,000 or 10,000 lotteries.
Yeah.
And they spit out an average. And so an average out of, 10,000 lotteries or 1,000 lotteries, a big sample size is we pick at 2.3 on average.
So we're getting third pick.
So we could get third. We could get first.
We're more than likely going to get third.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you got to look at. We're more than likely going to get third, which is why we look at that. And we're looking and talking about Slavkovsky as much as we are, because that's more than likely where we're picking.
And Arizona is more than likely to get fourth. Their odds are 40% to pick fourth.
Right.
And Seattle's is also 40% to pick fourth as well.
I saw one of these things, these simulations, where I saw Arizona had second pick and Montreal had fourth or third. And I'm wondering, how the hell is that possible? And I realized, Arizona won the second lottery. That's how they.
Yeah, because they only do a lottery for the first 2 picks, right?
Yeah, there's only 2 picks this year. And so they would have had to win the second. And I was thinking about it for like 5 minutes, and that option wasn't in my head. It's like, oh yeah, they won the second lottery. Mm-hmm. So, and Montreal could win the second lottery.
Yeah, Montreal could win the second lottery.
But why? What happens if they win that?
Then they would pick second.
Let me ask you. So, what happens if, say, Columbus gets the first pick? Right now, Montreal's still in first. They can't. Like them getting the second lottery, what happens if
Columbus wins the first lottery?
Yeah,
then that means that
Montreal doesn't
retains.
Their ball. Retains. Yeah, but then their ball is out for the second lottery.
Their ball would be out.
That's what I'm asking.
Then the draw would be for the second overall pick, and
Montreal would not.
It's anyone's game because Columbus would Columbus would move up to 2. So the draw would actually end up being for the 3rd because Columbus would move up to 2. Montreal would finish first. Columbus would then have the rights to pick 2nd overall. And then the second lottery would determine who picks 3rd overall. And then we go by standings from there.
Okay. So when they're flipping the cards, if we don't see Columbus's name in 12, we celebrate.
Well, any of them behind, but any of them behind.
If we don't, if we don't see Vegas, Vancouver, Winnipeg, New York Islanders, Columbus, if we don't see that in that order, then we celebrate. Because that means that one of them has.
That means one of them won the first lottery.
Because one of them could have won the second.
Well, that's true.
One of them could have won the second lottery, right? And Columbus can win that lottery because they can move up. They can move up 10 spots. They can move up 10 spots to go to number 2.
Well, they can move up 10 for both draws.
And Seattle
can only move up 10.
Yeah. So Seattle could move up, let's say, in the first one, or Arizona could move up in the first one. And then Columbus can move up in the second one.
Right.
And then we could still get bumped down to 3rd.
But that's the worst.
So,
we can't get worse than 3rd. That's what's important.
Yeah.
And we're more than likely going to get
a top 3 pick, and
we can't get worse, and we're more than likely going to be 3rd pick.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works out.
And whoever we draft is going to be a good NHL player.
I think so.
That's all we know right now. Whoever we draft is going to be a good NHL player.
I like the Habination. I'm going to agree with you there. Matt, we lost Matt. Habination says whatever numbers are fun. That's the point, and I agree with that. I love playing around with numbers.
Doesn't Columbus have 2 top 10 picks? Columbus technically has 2 top 10 picks. However,
one's the top 10.
Chicago is lottery protected.
Is it though? I went and looked, and I didn't see it.
Lottery protected. If
someone asked earlier,
Chicago wins.
It didn't say though. I looked on Cap Friendly, and I couldn't find it to say that.
So Tankathon does have it as if Chicago wins the lottery, they retain their pick. If Chicago wins the second lottery, Chicago retains their pick. If not, Columbus then gets that pick.
Okay.
So it is lottery protected.
Most teams trade that pick and have it lottery protected. Not too many trade their first round pick that it's not lottery protected. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think.
Ours was top 10 protected when we traded for
top 10,
Dvorak, right? So regardless of lottery or not, ours was top 10 protected.
Top 10. And that's the new thing is the top 10. Not just lottery protected, it's top 10 protected.
Yeah.
So that's, you have the best chance. Anyway, that's that, and it makes sense. I mean,
and the reason why is because of that new rule where if you finish 11th or 12th, you can't win. You can't get up to first overall.
Right, yeah. Right. So you want to protect that spot there, yeah. No, it makes
top
sense.
10 protected, you have a shot at first overall. Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And that pick that we sent for Dvorak ended up being a late round pick that we got from Calgary anyway. So we kind of recuperated that pick.
We did.
Right? So and we get the 33rd. Right?
Yep.
So if we look at the draft order, it goes, 28 Toronto, 29 Montreal via Calgary, 30 Arizona via Carolina via us,
right,
and then 33 us.
30. Who's 32nd?
32 is Buffalo via Florida.
Oh, okay.
And Arizona also has Colorado. So Arizona picks back-to-back, 30, 31st.
And just so people, in case they don't figure this out, if we get 3rd overall pick, second round, we've got the first pick in the second round, and every other round that doesn't get moved around.
Yeah,
some people might not realize that.
Yeah, so we have 4 picks in the top 50. In the top 54, Edmonton's is 54, but we essentially have 4 picks in the top 50 as of right now.
Yeah,
is there a good chance that one of those thirds gets moved up into the second? Potentially, we have 3 thirds.
Yeah, they could move one in various ways.
If they're really high on a player in the second round, and they want to reach up to grab him, they'll package. They'll go with a 3rd and a 4th or something.
Yeah, for sure. And Gordon, we know, will move up or whatever. He'll make moves at the draft.
Yes. Gordon is savvy, and he will do such a thing.
Yeah, we know that he'll do that if necessary, if they feel it. All right. I think I'm going to call it here. We lost Matt, so Matt, he must have been on Wi-Fi. It happens. I don't know what to say here at the end. I can't believe there's 30 people in the room. That's pretty awesome for a Saturday.
We're having a good discussion. I think people are hyped about the lottery.
The draft. The lottery coming up.
I really think that this is the one thing that we've had to look forward to. I mean, all season, the Habs fans have been clinging on to really, I would say, two or three things. Like the young guys finally coming at the end of the season, like Jordan Harris, guys like Justin Barron.
Yeah.
Right. Seeing them play. They've been clinging on to Suzuki and Caulfield, starting to regain that chemistry they found in the playoffs, and Caulfield really lighting it up. And this final thing that they've been clinging on to is this draft lottery.
Getting that first overall pick. But I hope a lot of people aren't crazy disappointed if we don't, because, we just explained, more than likely we're not going to get it. So,
and if we don't get it, we will still get a player who will complement the top six.
Oh yeah.
If they decide to go with the D-man, they'll be picking a top pair defenseman.
Yep.
He's a point per game right now in the playoffs in the Slovakian league. And I mean, like Nicholas was saying, even though they're not particularly high scoring leagues, that just goes to show.
Yeah. No, it does. Yep.
That kid is getting top line minutes and scoring point per game in that league,
We're going to get a good player.
Game translates over to North American ice.
I'm going to remind everybody. So the draft lottery is Tuesday at 6:30. We're going to be doing a live stream here starting at 6. Luca, if you're available and you want to come in at any point, just let me know. I'll send you an invite on draft lottery day. I don't know what you're doing for that day. But we'll be here doing a live stream, and fingers crossed, the results come out the way we'd like them. So that's Tuesday at 6 o'clock. So hopefully you guys will be here for that. I'm sure Matt will be here, and we're gonna have fun on that, and hopefully we have something. I mean, I like to celebrate that we got a first round pick, the first overall pick. I mean, at the end of that, and then that's it. I should have a video out tomorrow. Maybe 2. So we'll see how prolifically fast I work at finishing up these 3 scripts. And hopefully you guys will check those out. And that is it. I'm going to be, like I said, here on Tuesday. And Matt will be here with me. So hopefully you guys will be here. Thanks for watching tonight. Really appreciate it. Thanks to Luca for joining us. As always, Luca's a trove of information, I find, especially about the young players. I don't know that much about them, so it's always good to have you here. And that's it. So thanks for being here, everybody, and we'll see you soon. And stay safe out there. Peace out. Have a great rest of the night. And that's it. Ciao, everybody. Oops.